We're going to start here. I'm going to try and use it on the television screen. Does anybody know what this cut is? Not a flank steak. With good guess. Not a skirt steak. It is a flat iron, yeah. So this is what the whole muscle actually looks like. When you get a flat iron, you get this piece here, you get this piece here, you get this piece here. There's only 2 per animal. We found this through checkoff research. We broke every single muscle down in the whole carcass, and that's where we found this 20 to 25 years ago. It has grown in popularity. We see it all over. It's very common to find. Really easy for me to find in Bismarck. So it's a great value-added product. It runs between like $12 and $15 a pound wherever you find it. The claim to fame for flat iron is that it can be overcooked and still tender, still juicy, and you're not going to notice. It also has a really big, deep beef iron flavor. It's the only muscle in the shoulder that's going to have that flavor. We don't know why yet, but it's the only one. And so if you really like a deep, beefy flavor, this is the one to get. The next one I actually have 4. These are vacuum sealed, so I wasn't able to see what they looked like. I always choose the prettiest ones in the case. These are not the prettiest ones in the case, but it's also in the chuck, and it has a lot of value because of where it gets cut. Does anybody know what these steaks are? They actually have a lot of different names. Sometimes they're called a Delmonico, sometimes they're called a Denver steak. I call them a chuck eye steak. So when we split a carcass on the fabricating floor between the rib and the chuck, we're going to break a muscle actually in pieces. Most of the prime rib goes with the rib, right? But this piece is the same muscle. It just gets sliced where it gets sliced. It's the same muscle as a prime rib, so it's going to eat like a prime rib. So if you really enjoy it, this is $6.99 to $8.99 a pound, where your prime rib is $28.99 a pound. So if you want a prime rib eating experience but you don't have prime rib money, chuck eye is what you want to find. Okay?
So Nicole, sorry, I'm interrupting your time.
That's okay.
So chuck steak, is that like a chuck roast cut up?
Okay, so you want a chuck eye. A chuck steak would be a chuck roast cut up. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. Okay, the next one we're going to go to is the sirloin. This one, the shape gives it away. Anybody have any ideas? Anybody tried it before? It is a West Coast cut found in California in the 60s, considered a butcher's cut. The butcher always took it home. No one knew about it, and so until they realized the butchers were taking them home, we didn't know about it. Very popular in California if you go and eat there. Anybody know? Tri-tip, exactly. Shape gives it away, right? 1, 2, 3 tips. This is what I call a really versatile cut. This runs about $12.99 for the whole roast. This is the whole muscle. It can be smoked and it can be grilled, or it can be slow roasted in an oven. My one teenager likes it smoked. If you rub it with mustard, put your seasoning on it, smoke it for 2 hours to 205 degrees, poor man's brisket. It's going to taste just like it. If you put it on the grill, quick and fast, 120 degrees, it's going to be medium rare, sliced beautifully. The thing with tri-tip though, is do you guys see the striations in the muscle? You have to cut against the grain for this one. If you don't, you're going to have a terrible eating experience. If you do, it's going to be bliss. Okay? The next one is also in the sirloin. Actually, I think this is in the top, the mini top sirloin that's right above that one. Go underneath the tenderloin. I think this is where this one's at. This is actually from the same cut. This is the roast. These are the steaks cut in pieces. Anybody have a guess of where this one is? Oh, it's not on my picture. Might be on that one. This is my new favorite steak that if it's in a restaurant, I will buy it. This is what I'm ordering. I'm not ordering a New York. I'm not ordering a ribeye. This is the cut if it comes on the menu. Everybody, what's that? Strip loin? Nope, it's not a strip loin. That would be a New York strip too. This is the top sirloin cap. So like a ribeye, it doesn't have a spinalis, but it has a cap just like the ribeye does. This is the whole cap pulled off of the top sirloin, okay? And cut into steaks, they're called culottes, okay? Perfect 6 to 8 ounces, great for salads, grill them really fast, take 4 to 5 minutes, not a big deal. And can you see all the marbling in it? The best part is so we know that top sirloins have that kind of piece of gristle that runs through it. Kind of makes it not an excellent eating experience. These don't have that. So every bite is super tender, super great, extremely marbled. This is a great one. It has different names you might have to think of, like top sirloin steak, culotte steak. I've even heard it called calf steak. Just kind of figure out what your butcher calls it. Those are our sirloin pieces. Now, I'm going to get to some that maybe you don't know about. Anybody know what this is? We don't eat a lot of these in America. It is a shank. I joked and I was like, not just for jail. They're for your plate too. So the shank is the bottom, or the top of what I call the top of the leg, the bottom of the carcass, right? It is a low and slow. Now this is one of the only ones that I'm going to say you should braise this one. What is braising? That is your Dutch oven with liquid and flavor seasoning inside of it, covered up in an oven for a long time. Think of Grandma's Sunday meal. Osso buco is the most popular foreign dish that we would make with it, but don't discount it because this is about $6 to $7 a pound. Now my butcher ended up slicing them like this. I don't think that this is thick enough. If I was going to ask him to slice these for me, I would ask him to slice it probably in 5 to 6 inch pieces. Then I can put my vegetables around it. When it starts to break apart, I'm going to have big chunks of beef that are coming off. I think these are going to be too small, but just know that they could look like little dinosaur discs. Sometimes they call them dino bones. A really great value we don't eat a lot of. This last one, did I go through all of them? No, I got one more.
Plenty of time, Nicole.
Okay, great. Then we have time for questions.
Even counting in the fact that they called us out 2 minutes early.
Oh, okay, good. We only eat 15% of what we produce of this cut. Does anybody have an idea of what this cut is? Short ribs. Short ribs, yeah. I love short ribs. Short ribs with barbecue sauce. And does anybody have the old speckled dishes? Yeah, like Mom had it, was tin, but it's got black and white speckles on it. Yeah, my mom had them too. That inside here, all day long, a beautiful meal, okay? 15% though. The rest of it, 85%, we're sending over to Asia because they're the ones that eat the most of it. We can find way more value in Asia sending these over there than we can eating them over here, but they're still great. Korean dishes, if you go to a Korean barbecue restaurant, they're making their pieces out of here. Again, low and slow, okay? Not necessarily a braised dish, but low and slow. The marbling that you're going to see inside here is going to break it all apart. These are bone in. You can get them bone out. You could make these just like pork ribs as well, where you put them on, you smoke them, let them fall apart. The key to smoking, if you want things to fall apart, is 205 degrees. That's where your thermometer is going to come into place. The last one. Guarantee you haven't heard of this one. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, there. I made a mistake, you guys. I have an animal science degree in beef production. I should have a meat science degree. Anybody know? These are the same cut, just from 2 different animals. Anybody have an idea of what these are?
Hanger steak.
It is a hanger steak. Awesome. Excellent. They're gorgeous, right?
Yep.
So to me, they taste like butter. There's only 1 per animal, so they are very rare. If you can find it in your butcher shop, scoop it up. If you can find it on a restaurant, scoop it up. Someone told me Porterhouse has it here in town.
Porter Creek.
Porter Creek.
That was one of our options for our last gathering for our board was hanger steak, and pretty much everybody chose it.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Peacock Alley was supposed to make a really good one.
I don't know. I haven't been to Peacock Island for a
They
while.
used to be really good.
Yeah.
Our butcher never cut them out. He didn't know about them. Until the Hutterites were just there.
Sure.
Vacuum sealing a bunch of meat, and they're like, that's the hanger steak, you gotta cut it out, because
Yeah.
otherwise it dries up.
And it
when you
goes
cut
into
it in
grind.
half. So, them are delicious.
So most butchers don't know about this, but this is what's considered the authentic, literal butcher's cut, because the butcher's the only one that knew about it. And so this also went into the bin of the things that people aren't going to know are missing. If I package it all up, it can go home, and we're going to love it. See, butchers know what the good things are, right? It does have very striated muscles, so when you get it, you're going to have to cut it against the grain when you have it on your plate. But all of the marbling, it's already falling apart by itself right now. So when you grill it, it just kind of the marbling just all turns to butter. I think that's what it tastes like. Now, Eric told me he thinks it's very muddy tasting. I'm not really sure what that means, but it does have a deep beef flavor. It also is in the plate, so it's kind of that diaphragm area. So it's helping contract each of the cavities of the abdomen. I'm just going to ask where it's at. Yes, in the plate. That's a skirt steak, but the hanger is in there too. But it's not, it's one of those things.
Cut it out when you're gutting.
Yep, it's the first thing that you pull out. So if you don't tell your butcher, if you turn your cut sheet in too late, you're not going to be. You have to turn your cut sheet in first, so that when they slice the carcass in half, they pull that one out right away. Yep. Any questions on any of the cuts, any of the processes? We're really looking for things that we can have that are affordable for families, because we know that $28 a pound isn't affordable for everybody every day, right? But I want you to know, as if you are a producer, that it's more than ribeyes, roast, and burger, because there's just a lot of pieces here that we didn't know about before 20-some years ago before we pulled everything apart. I did stump Dr. Berg on my way to work, on the way here yesterday. I called him and said, Eric, I'm really looking for this certain steak. Can you help me find it? I'm struggling here in Bismarck. And he called me back and he goes, I don't know what that is. And I said, really? It's on the cut chart. I know what it is. It's used in food service a lot. I don't know if you can see it. It's going to be in the bottom sirloin. It's going to be a big chunk of meat. Let me see. Is it on here? Oh yeah, it's on there. In the bavette. Yes. So bavette means bib. There's a flap when you pull the bottom sirloin out. There's a flap there. You can pull that off and cut it. Most of the time it goes into trim for grind, but it's in French it means bib. So it's kind of like a skirt, kind of like a flank, but it's got a really great tender quality to it. So there's a lot of value in that if we can just get people to start cutting those ones off. Retail spaces, you'll find it. Sometimes they'll cut it into fajitas, sometimes it'll be cube steak.
It'll be fine.
But that's getting popularity. Hang on. What else can I talk about?
At least a minute.
Could you just, I'm sorry I missed it because I was texting.
No, it's okay.
I said the coulee is what I used to call it, but could you just talk about, because I've started to see that on the better steakhouses now.
Absolutely.
And the shank has been showing up for the high-end steak.
Yeah. So the shank they're going to start using, because they're going to have something low and slow and braised. It's probably going to be a special for the day, because they're going to have to make a bunch of it. When it's out, because they can't just whip it up quick. Okay? The culotte is a steak that they can make really fast, really hot.
And that comes from?
This is from the top sirloin. It's the cap of the top sirloin. So think of the ribeye, you know, the spinalis, the cap on the ribeye. Everybody loves that, right? I don't know about you, but if I have a ribeye, that's the last piece I eat because it's the best piece, right? This is the same thing. The top sirloin actually has that. But these are becoming way more popular.
I've had those excellent.
Yes.
It's all good as long as it's corn-fed finished, right?
Right, there we
Thanks,
go.
everybody.
And your steak needs to be cut the same way as that other one.
Yeah. It needs to be cut across the green, yeah. Yep.
Same as fried.
Yes.
Yeah, you
I will.